Hello students, this is Atul Kumar Singh and today again I brought class 12 subject biology chapter 9 strategies for enhancement in food production. It is the part 1 of this chapter. It is totally based on NCERT and dear students, till now if you have not subscribed our channel, please subscribe it, like it and share it among your friends. Dear students, we are going to study this chapter in detail. Number 1. What are we going to study in this chapter? Dear students, which things we will study in this chapter? These things are: number 1, animal husbandry, second thing, plant breeding, third thing, single cell protein, and fourth is tissue culture. Dear students, this is the part 1 and we will try to deal the animal husbandry in this part. Dear students, let's start. Here we'll deal first thing. Just see food crisis. Dear students, see the diagram over here. Can you see the face of this child? You see, I believe he may be thinking, I'm hungry, let me get food. Dear student, this scenario is not a unique and is seen over here, but it is the situation in many countries, including India. Here we can say this situation as food crisis. Dear student, why is there food crisis? I want to tell you what is the reason behind the food crisis. The reason is number 1, overpopulation. I want to share one thing with you is, do you know, in 10 years, every 10 years, India produces one Brazil. Surprising. I'm telling you, once again I'm repeating you, India produces one Brazil in every 10 years. And you know, Brazil is the 5th largest country of the world. India produces one Brazil in every 10 years. What does it mean? What the meaning of this statement? Dear student, this statement means in 10 years, how much population of India will be increased? That will be equal to the Brazil. And in every 10 years, our Uttar Pradesh, where I live in UP, that Uttar Pradesh produces one Canada in every 10 years. Uttar Pradesh produces one Canada in every 10 years. Means the population of UP increase increment in that number of persons in UP in 10 years will be equal to the population of Canada. Surprising. And one shocking thing I'm going to tell you, I live in Hardoi, that is the district of Uttar Pradesh. If Hardoi would be a country, then it will have, or it is having, more population than 70 countries of the world. Means its rank would be at 130 in all over world. Roughly, if I am counting 200 countries of the world, its rank would be 130. By God, this is known as population explosion. And I have taken the example of India, Uttar Pradesh and Hardoi to tell you how much problematic it is. So this is the reason behind the food crisis. It is a big reason behind the food crisis. Dear student, another reason is the natural calamity. Nowadays, you are locked in your homes because of a natural calamity named as Corona, that is COVID-19. COVID-19, it is a virus. Such type of epidemic situation we see during Spanish flu, during H5N1, or I should say avian influenza. Such type of epidemics or drought or somewhere over precipitation, such type of like tsunami and so on. These are the natural calamities which also are behind the food crisis. Dear student, another thing is the man-made calamities. What are the man-made calamities? Man-made calamities are just like war or sometimes economic crisis. Okay, all these are the man-made crisis. All these things are responsible for what? These are responsible for food crisis. Now, how to tackle the situation? How to tackle the problem? This we can tackle by animal husbandry, by plant breeding, by single cell protein, and by tissue culture. Dear students, these things we have to discuss in detail. So in part 1 we will deal only one thing, that is animal husbandry. Dear student, we are going to deal what is animal husbandry. Dear student, we know that definition of animal husbandry is very short, and it is the rearing and caring of animals. Rearing and caring of animals for some goods and products. Okay, here you may say that it is agricultural practice of breeding and raising the livestock. Okay, it it is a vital skill for farmers, and it may be treated as a science as well as an art. Dear student, buffaloes, cows, pigs, horses, cattle, sheep, camel, goats, poultry farming, fisheries, etc. are included in animal husbandries. We rear and care these animals. Dear students, the products can be milk, eggs, meat, wood, silk, honey, horn, leather, etc. As per 2018 estimate, roughly 63% of the world livestock population is in India, Brazil, and China. Roughly this is. But dear students, in your book it is given as 70% and only in India and China. But I am telling you the data has been changed, so you can write the new or updated data from here. But total farm produce is very less. It is roughly 25% in India and China. So we require new inventions and techniques. Now, management of farms and farm animals. How we'll manage them? So first thing we will discuss the dairy farm management, next poultry farm management, next animal breeding, and under animal breeding we will deal inbreeding versus outbreeding, then outcrossing, then we will deal crossbreeding, then we will deal interspecific hybridization, then we will discuss artificial insemination, then MOET, and finally we will discuss the beekeeping and fisheries. So first thing we are going to discuss is the dairy farm management. We deal processes and systems that increase yield and improve quality of milk. Milk yield depends on quality of breeds. Okay, breeds means which race we are going to choose. Okay, for rearing and caring. So we should do selection of good breeds having high yielding potential under the climate conditions of the area, combined with resistance to diseases. Dear students, I am telling you, any breed cannot be chosen. Any breed cannot be chosen. Actually, that breed should be of good quality, and it should have the potential to resist the climatic conditions of that particular area. Those breeds will survive over here, and those breeds will be beneficial for you. Next, caring of cattle. Here, what we have to keep in mind: number one, well housed cattle should be well housed. They should be supplied adequate amount of water, proper nourishment, and be maintained disease free. Okay, here if they would have any disease, it will be economically problematic. Now, the feeding of cattle should be in a scientific manner with special emphasis on the quality and quantity of fodder. Here we have to keep one thing in mind, that quality and quantity of fodder should be scientifically measured, and that we have to follow. Next, stringent cleanliness and hygiene, proper inspections of the farm, and visits of veterinary doctor and record keeping is mandatory for dairy farm management. Dear students, if these points you will write in the exam, you will get good marks. There is no problem at all, and these things we keep in mind while we manage a dairy farm. Okay, next, poultry farm management. We are now coming to the poultry farm management. Here we have to we can say that rearing and caring of hen, chicken, ducks, turkey and geese to get eggs and meat of the bird. Okay, these things we have to keep in mind for poultry farm management. Important components are selection of disease-free and suitable breeds. Number one, breed should be disease-free. There should be no disease, and it should be suitable. Okay, suitable means suitability depends on many factors, like that disease should be resistant to a particular climatic condition. Proper and safe farm conditions. Okay, proper feed and water, and hygiene and healthcare. Next, we have to keep in mind that chickens raised for eggs are known as layers. This you learn. Chickens raised for eggs are known as layers, while chickens raised for meat are known as broilers. Okay. Next thing, issues. What are the issues over here? Number one, inhumane treatment. Inhumane treatment with the birds, that means with hen and chicken and all. Beak trimming, use of antibiotics in poultry farms, arsenic, use of arsenic, and use of growth hormones, and waste management and manure. Here, economic factors, morality, disease like avian flu, bird flu, or H5N1 virus or Ranikhet disease, these all are the issues related to poultry farm management. I'm telling you one important thing, that is Ranikhet disease is caused by paramyxovirus, and avian flu or bird flu, that is caused by H5N1 virus. Now, animal breeding, we are coming to this point here. Animal breeding aims at increasing the yield of animals and improving the desirable qualities of the produce. A group of animals related by descent and similar in most characters like general appearance, features, size, configuration, etc. are said to belong to a breed. For what kind of characters would be breed animals, this we can this thing we can deal by thinking about what we want from them. Like if we want a bull, so it should be strong, but if we want a cow, then it should produce more milk, so these characters will vary. Okay, next, would the selection of characters differ with the choice of animals? The answer is yes. It differ with the choice of animals, which type of animals we want. Dear students, what is inbreeding? So inbreeding, here we will say the breeding between animals of the same breed within 4 to 6 generations. You must keep in mind, inbreeding can be defined as the breeding between animals of the same breed. Same breed means within 4 to 6 generations. Okay, now superior males, which gives rise to the superior progeny, and superior female producing more milk per lactation of the same breed are identified and mated in pairs again and again. This is known as inbreeding. So can you write here, only one thing is important, and that is this point which I have underlined, that is within 4 to 6 generations. What is inbreeding? Inbreeding means breeding between the animals of the same breed within 4 to 6 generations. So this thing you have to keep in mind. Next, here what we will get if we'll breed the same generation individuals, then we will get homozygous pure lines. What we will get? Homozygous pure lines. Homozygous means same set of genetic material they will have, and pure lines because they don't have variations. Now, inbreeding increases homozygosity, obviously, and next thing, inbreeding exposes harmful recessive genes that are eliminated by selection. Harmful recessive genes will be eliminated, and how these will be eliminated? These will be eliminated by selection. And next thing, but inbreeding reduces fertility. It will reduce fertility and even productivity, and this is known as inbreeding depression. So what is the inbreeding depression? You may write inbreeding reduces fertility and even productivity, and this thing is known as inbreeding depression. That means a reduction in fertility and productivity by inbreeding is known as inbreeding depression. Okay, now what is outbreeding? You say outbreeding is the breeding of the unrelated animals. Here we will say this thing, this point, unrelated animals, which may be between individuals of the same breed but having no common ancestors for 4 to 6 generations. Here, listen carefully. Here, individuals of the same breed can also be there, but what you call beyond 4 to 6 generations. That is known as outcrossing. This thing is also known as outcrossing, or between different breeds. Here, breed can be same or different. Okay, if it is different, this is known as crossbreeding. So crossbreeding and outcrossing both collectively known as outbreeding. Once again, I am telling, crossbreeding and outcrossing collectively known as outbreeding. Okay, that means here the individuals who are undergoing breeding, they can be of same breed or they can be of different breed. If they are of same breed but they don't have any common ancestor for 4 to 6 generations, it will be known as outcrossing. And if they are of different breed, obviously it will be crossbreeding. Okay, so or they can be of different species, even means here species is also changed, so this thing will be interspecific hybridization. So three things are involved over here: number one, outcrossing; number two, crossbreeding; and number three, interspecific hybridization. These all things will be known as outbreeding. Okay, now outcrossing we have already discussed. Once again we will read it. Outcrossing means this is a practice of matching animals with the same breed but having no common ancestors on either side of their pedigree up to 4 to 6 generation. Okay, so this we know. Now the offspring of such a matching is known as an outcross. The offspring of such a matching is known as an outcross. It is the best breeding method for animals that are below average in productivity in milk production, growth rate in beef cattle, etc. A single outcross often helps to overcome inbreeding depression. Okay, that means we'll apply inbreeding, and after 4 to 6 generation we will use outcrossing to avoid inbreeding depression. Okay, now what is crossbreeding? This also we have seen. Okay, in this method, superior males of one breed are mated with superior females of another breed. Okay, now crossbreeding allows the desirable qualities of two different breeds to be combined. The progeny hybrid animals may themselves be used for commercial production. Alternatively, they may be subjected to some form of inbreeding and selection to develop new stable breeds that may be superior to the existing breeds. Listen carefully. In crossbreeding, what is going on? Dear students, here superior male of one breed and superior female of another breed. So this is the means breed is the change. Here one breed and here another breed. That means breeds are changed. Okay, so this type of thing will be providing what desirable qualities of two different breeds are combined. These are combined. Now, the progeny hybrid animals may themselves be used for commercial production. Alternatively, they may be subjected to same form of inbreeding and selection to develop new stable breeds that may be superior to the existing breeds. Many new animals breed have been developed by this approach. Okay, for example, what are the example? You say Hizardale is a new breed. Hizardale, you can see this point, it is very important. Hizardale is a new breed of sheep developed in Punjab by crossing Bikaneri ewes and Merino rams. Okay, now see. Interspecific hybridization. In this method, here what is written? Interspecific, that means species are changed. So here the cross between different species. So in this method, what we will do? Male and female animals of two different related species are mated. Okay, here species is changed. Species is changed. So, in some cases, the progeny may be combined desirable features of both parents and may be of considerable economic value. Okay, for example, the mule. Okay, you may see here, this is the mule. This is the mule. Okay, it is mule. It is the product of female horse and male donkey. Okay, and I want to tell you very important feature of it is it is infertile. It is infertile, that means it cannot do sexual reproduction and it cannot produce its own progeny. Okay, now controlled breeding experiments. Here one important thing we want to tell you is the artificial insemination. So this point you must know, the semen is collected from the male. Here the semen is collected from the male that is chosen as a parent and injected into the reproductive tract of the selected female by the breeder. Okay, so this is known as in artificial insemination. Now the semen may be used immediately or can be frozen and used at later date. Okay, it can be frozen and used as later date. I am telling you, this is known as cryopreservation. If it is used for if it is preserved in liquid nitrogen at 196 minus 196 degrees centigrade. Now it can also be transported in a frozen form to where the female is housed. That means semen can be transported. Semen can be transported in a frozen form to where the female is housed. Okay, so this is known as artificial insemination. Now, in this way, desirable matings are carried out. Okay, means here desirable matings are carried out. Okay, now artificial insemination helps us to overcome several problems of normal matings. Okay. Now we have to see the MOET. What? Controlled breeding experiment include MOET also to improve chances of successful production of hybrids. Multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. Once again, multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology. Say with me, multiple ovulation embryo transfer technology, MOET, can be used. Okay, why we are using here? To improve the chances of successful production of hybrids. To improve chances of successful production of hybrids. Now see, a cow is administered hormones with FSH. What is the full form of FSH? Follicle stimulating hormone. What is the full form? Follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone like activity to induce follicular maturation and superovulation. Instead of one egg, which they normally yield per cycle, that means they normally produce, here they will produce 6 to 8 eggs. What we are providing them? We are providing them FSH, and because of FSH they will produce more eggs per cycle. Okay, so here chances of fertilization will be increased. Okay, now the animal is either mated with an elite bull or artificially inseminated. The fertilized eggs at 8 to 32 cells stages are recovered non-surgically and transferred to surrogate mother. Okay, what we are going to do over here, the animal is either mated with an elite bull or artificially inseminated. Okay, now the fertilized eggs at 8 to 32 cells stage are recovered non-surgically. Means here we will take the eggs out of the embryo, or sorry, out of the womb of the cow, or what you call that, female. We will insert it into the surrogate mother. Okay, surrogate mother, you know already, that means it is another female where we want to develop this embryo. Now the genetic mother is available for another round of superovulation. This technology has been demonstrated for cattle, sheep, rabbits, buffaloes, mares, etc. Okay, now what will be the, what you call, advantage of it? High milk yielding breeds of female and high quality lean meat with less lipid meat yielding bulls have been bred successfully to increase herd size in a short time. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and see the description to get the notes as PDF. Until now, if you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe it, like and share it. Thank you so much.